ETH has a major update coming. I think we briefly mentioned it before.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the DenCun update. There's no official date on it yet, but there is something big coming up this weekend.
Their final testnet.
Their final testnet is going to be onboarding the new update. It's the Holeski testnet that's going to be getting the upgrade.
Which I think if everything goes good, it gets automatically updated to a new one.
No, so what they're going to do is on Saturday they're updating the Holeski testnet, and then the very next day the ETH developers are going to get on a call and they're going to decide what date to bring it onto main chain.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound too decentralized to me.
Well, all the developers pretty much run nodes. They own a bunch of nodes. One thing that I learned actually was how they came up with the name DenCun, because
I was about to roast that name. I'm glad you brought that up. How did they come up with DenCun?
So it's like a mixture of two different words.
Dank and Coon?
No. Deneb and Cancun.
What?
Now, where they get Deneb and Cancun from, right?
Well, I can see where they got Cancun from. I can't see the
it's
other
a city. Right? Okay, cool. So Deneb is the name of a star. And apparently DenCun upgrade is upgrading two specific layers of the ETH blockchain, the consensus layer and the execution layer.
Yeah, making fees lower for layer 2s.
Exactly. So the Deneb, all the consensus layer updates are named after stars. Start with Altair, Bellatrix, Capella, and Deneb.
Didn't know that.
So they go in alphabetical order.
Okay.
And then the very next one after this upgrade, the next consensus layer upgrade would be called Electra. And then all the execution layer upgrades are named after cities that have hosted DevCon. Examples would be Shanghai, Cancun, Bogota, and London. So they just merged the two, Deneb for Den, and then Cancun, Kun, so DenCun. That's how they got the name.
Say they're at least somewhat creative.
Yeah, well, apparently there was like the other one. They did the same thing with the name, Shanghai upgrade, right? But then they portmanteaued it with Capella, the previous execution consensus layer, and they call it Chapella.
I never heard that.
Yeah, that's.
We always heard the
Shanghai because that specific upgrade was for the execution layer.
Oh, just the execution.
Yeah,
gotcha.
But yeah, the upgrade is set to implement 9 different Ethereum improvement proposals, and it should come out by sometime the first quarter if everything goes good this weekend.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the 9 improvement proposals are pretty hardcore. I wrote them down, and I'm gonna also add a link in the description for you guys to check it out. EIP 1153. The purpose of this is to discard data for each transaction so that information isn't just being stored on chain. EIP 4788, which uses the beacon chain blocks to create a new oracle. That way, Ethereum doesn't need to use third-party oracles anymore. EIP 5656 updates the memory copying and lowers gas fees by doing that. EIP 6780, so the total of 9, remember. EIP 6780, which will change a smart contract feature called self-destruct, and it should make the chain more stable overall. EIP 7044, 7045, 7514, they all kind of have like their own like specific function, but overall they improve node operations and make validator management and efficiency better. EIP 7516 lets smart contracts access a base fee for something called blobs. It's a new thing. I'll cover it now. And then the bigger one is 4844, which kind of like implements the blobs and allows for blob sharing across transactions. So, what is a blob? A blob,
I may ask, yes.
right? A blob is something called binary large objects.
Okay.
Hence, blobs, binary large objects, right? And it's just one of the steps that the Ethereum developers need to take to get closer towards sharding, which overall should decrease transaction fees and improve transaction times. Right for ETH. But right now, all these are only going to be mostly affecting because they're not implementing sharding yet. They're implementing something called proto dank sharding.
Mm-hmm.
What the end goal would be is dank sharding. Proto dank sharding comes from two ETH developers that are their Proto and Dank is part of their names. But I don't know his actual name, but the Dank dude,
fine.
the Dank dude, he's the one who originally proposed the idea for sharding.
Okay.
And now Proto is just like the first step towards that. He's like, okay, this guy Proto, he's like, let's try to figure it out, and this is what they're doing. So this binary large objects thing is gonna let off-chain data be stored 2 blocks by attaching a hash on the blocks.
Okay.
And this is just a new form of data that wasn't previously implemented on Ethereum. It's apparently really big for the chain and should drastically improve layer 2s. So ETH gas fees, not going to really see a big difference. It's going to stay high, and
it's more so network fees on layer 2s.
For sure, absolutely. But like I'm talking big changes to layer 2s. They're expecting anywhere from 10 to 100 times cheaper gas fees for layer 2s, which is
more comparable to Solana.
And then also 45 to 100 times faster transactions.
Currently.
Yeah, on layer 2s. But that's just huge numbers. Like 10, like if you hear 10x is a lot, but then up to 100x is ridiculous. So that's just a overall good news for ETH, assuming that everything goes good on this new implementation for the Haleski testnet.